The Adeptus Mechanicus, once known as the Mechanicum, stood as both a relic of a more ancient time and the power behind the technological sinews of the Imperium. No mere guild of engineers or scientists, they were a priesthood in the most profound sense, worshippers of the machine god. These devotees, clothed in rust-red robes and glistening augments, were the guardians of arcane knowledge that none outside their order could fathom. In ages long past, before the rise of the Imperium, Mars had been a colony of terror, yet became so much more, a forge of knowledge, a world devoted to the sacred art of machinery. During the golden age of technology, Mars reached heights equal to its sister planet, but the age of strife brought ruin. Mars suffered, its surface scourged by deadly radiation, its people forced into barbarism, yet from this chaos arose a new faith, the cult Mechanicus. They scoured the wastes for lost machines, believing each scrap of ancient technology to be divine. With unyielding fervor, they rebuilt Mars, transforming it into a powerhouse of industry and intellect. The Emperor, when he came to unite Terra, forged an alliance with this mighty order, for he was seen by many of their number as the Omnissiah, a living embodiment of their machine god. The duties of the Adeptus Mechanicus spanned the breadth of the galaxy. They repaired the ships of the Imperial Navy, maintained the sacred machines of the Astra Militarum, and crafted the finest weapons known to man. Their most crucial task, however, was the preservation of knowledge. To them, technology was not mere function, but sacred relic. The quest for knowledge, a mission as much spiritual as scientific, drove their fleets to the furthest reaches of the stars. They sought the lost standard template constructs, fabled devices that once held the key to creating anything from starships to cities. In their pursuit, they uncovered fragments of ancient lore, piecing together the great technological puzzle of mankind's past. The hierarchy of the Adeptus Mechanicus was rigid, a reflection of the machines they revered. At its pinnacle sat the Fabricator General of Mars, the ruler of the Forge Worlds, and the voice of the machine god. Beneath him, the Forge Worlds themselves were petty kingdoms, each owing fealty to Mars, governing themselves with an iron hand. These worlds were vast industrial empires, producing all that the Imperium needed to wage its eternal wars. The tech priests who served on these planets were divided by rank and role, from lowly initiates with only rudimentary augments to the revered magi, whose bodies had long since become more machine than flesh. Each tech priest specialized in their own branch of study, be it biomechanics, weaponry, or even the mysterious machine spirits that were said to dwell in every cog and wire. The armies of the Adeptus Mechanicus are as varied and intricate as the machines they so devoutly worship. Each Forge World is responsible for raising its own forces, pledging fealty to the central authority of Mars, and in turn to the Fabricator General. This is no mere matter of soldiers and guns, but a holy crusade in the eyes of the tech priests. For every war fought is a step in their sacred quest for knowledge. Their warriors are cybernetic constructs, as much metal as flesh, adorned with the sacred vestments of their forge. The primary military forces of the Mechanicus are known as the Scutari, an army of augmented soldiers whose devotion to the machine god surpasses all fear of death. Scutari warriors are enhanced with weapons and sensory implants that make them far more efficient than mere men. They are the foot soldiers of Mars, driven not by the chaos of human emotions, but by cold, calculating logic. The Mechanicus feels more than just flesh and metal hybrids. The forces of the Collegia Titanica are the pinnacle of their martial power, housing the mightiest of war engines, the Titans. Towering above the battlefield, these walking cathedrals of devastation are not mere machines, but living weapons in the eyes of the cult Mechanicus. Their machine spirits, awakened by the rituals and litanies of their tech priest masters. Beyond the Scutari and Titans, the Mechanicus calls upon a wide variety of automata, each constructed with precision for a specific purpose in battle. The Castellan robots are one such example, giant, mindless war machines, whose ancient protocols can only be partially understood by the tech priests who command them. These and many other technological marvels, from floating battle servitors to the fearsome onager doom crawlers, make the Adeptus Mechanicus a force unlike any other in the galaxy. The Adeptus Mechanicus followed the cult Mechanicus, a religion both alien and ancient. Knowledge was their god, and machines its most sacred vessels. The flesh, to them, was weak, an imperfect shell, meant to be cast aside in favor of cold, enduring metal. The Omnissiah, the divine embodiment of the machine god, was both their messiah and their ideal. They believed that the true perfection of life lay in the marriage of man and machine, and that only by purging themselves of fleshly frailty could they come closer to the divine. To them, every cog, every rivet was a prayer, and every spark of electricity a blessing from their god. The tech priests communicated in a language few outside their order could comprehend. Known as lingua technis, or techna lingua, it was a binary tongue, spoken in bursts of static and electronic pulses. It was optimized not for the ear of the flesh, but for the circuits of the machine. Within this language was encoded not only simple words, but vast swaths of technical data, allowing the tech priests to communicate complex schematics or battle instructions in the space of a single syllable. To the unaugmented ear, it was a language of discordant noise, but to the tech priests, it was the voice of the machine god itself. The Adeptus Mechanicus was more than just the engineers of the Imperium. They were its lifeblood. Without their vast forge welds, the Imperium would crumble, bereft of its weapons, starships, and the machines needed to keep its armies marching across the stars. But their influence extended beyond mere logistics. In their ceaseless quest for knowledge, they uncovered ancient technologies, some of which reshaped the course of human history. Yet, for all their contributions, the Mechanicus remained a shadowy and secretive order, their true motives known only to themselves. Whispers abounded that they harbored ambitions far greater than the simple maintenance of the Imperium, and that within the vaults of Mars lay the keys to power unimaginable.